You think you knew the drama between Jim Jones and Chrissy? Think again. What if I told you the biggest betrayal didn't come from some rival rapper or shady business associate? Nope, it came from the woman Jim trusted above all, Chrissy. And this isn't just a messy rumor you scroll past on Instagram. This is a full-blown, earth-shattering scandal that's about to rewrite everything you thought you knew about Harlem's power couple. Camron's family just dropped bombshell after bombshell, and let me tell you, the truth is darker, juicier, and far more chaotic than anyone could have imagined. Chrissy's perfect life is starting to crack, and Jim, bless him, is standing there completely blindsided, left to pick up the pieces of what could be the biggest betrayal in hip-hop history. Money? Gone. Trust? Shattered. Reputation? At stake. So what exactly has Chrissy been hiding all these years? Who knew about it? And how deep does this rabbit hole go? Buckle up, because what you're about to hear will make your jaw drop, your head spin, and your notifications blow up. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, the Chrissy and Jim story you thought you knew will be unrecognizable, and Camron's explosive revelations will leave you questioning everything about loyalty, love, and power in the streets of Harlem. Are you ready to see the empire crumble? Let's dive in. Camron's name alone brings the energy of Harlem streets to mind, where loyalty and betrayal can change in an instant, and now the energy is at the center of a scandal so shocking. It will leave everyone questioning what they thought they knew. Jim Jones, the hip-hop mogul known for his power and hustle, is now facing a betrayal that seems ripped straight from a movie, yet it is painfully real. The revelations came from Camron and his family, who dropped bombshell after bombshell, exposing a side of Chrissy that no one could have imagined. Jim and Chrissy were always portrayed as the ultimate power couple, glamorous on Instagram, smiling on red carpets, living the life fans envied, but behind the scenes, Chrissy had been living a double life filled with manipulation and deceit that now threatens to unravel everything Jim built. Chrissy had been quietly orchestrating financial schemes and secret investments, all without Jim's knowledge, turning his empire and his trust into fragile illusions. It was not just about money. Her betrayals were layered, extending into personal affairs, hidden trips, and undisclosed alliances that no one, not even Jim, could have anticipated. Insiders claim that Jim thought he was with a loving partner, but in reality, Chrissy was playing a master game of strategy, one that used his trust as a weapon. Sources close to the situation revealed that she created shell accounts and set up companies under the radar, funneling money and making business moves that not only hurt Jim financially, but also put his reputation on the line. The scale of these operations was so vast that if Jim had noticed even a small part of it, his empire could have faced catastrophic collapse. This was not a series of minor mistakes or simple deception. This was a calculated long game designed to shift control away from Jim while keeping him in the dark. Yet, the financial betrayal was only the surface layer. Chrissy's personal betrayals added another level of shock, involving secret relationships and connections that could have endangered Jim's career and image if exposed earlier. Anonymous sources stated that people were aware of her actions for years, but no one spoke up, creating an environment where Jim remained blind to the true scale of manipulation happening right under his nose. Fans are now re-evaluating everything they thought they knew about Jim and Chrissy, and social media is ablaze with reactions, memes, and speculation. People are calling the situation a cautionary tale about trust and power, noting how someone can appear loyal while secretly orchestrating the collapse of everything around them. Chrissy's actions did not just threaten Jim personally. They endangered business partnerships, strained professional relationships, and created opportunities for rivals to exploit weaknesses that were carefully hidden from public view until now. The scandal has already sparked debates online about how long someone can maintain a double life without exposure and whether Jim could have avoided it had he paid closer attention. Those close to the situation describe it as a carefully executed plan that required patience and precision. And now, with Camron and his family revealing the details, the full picture of betrayal is finally coming to light. People are astonished by the audacity of Chrissy's maneuvers, the way she blended charm with calculated manipulation, and the implications for Jim's future are staggering. The revelation suggests that what appeared as a perfect partnership was in fact a carefully curated illusion, and Jim's blind trust allowed a series of actions to take place that now threaten his personal life, finances, and reputation. friends. And insiders claim that Jim is reeling from the shock, struggling to reconcile the woman he thought he knew with the calculated strategist who has now been revealed. The situation has created a perfect storm of public outrage, media frenzy, and internal conflict, with the world watching as the pieces of Jim's empire appear to teeter on the edge of collapse. Legal experts and industry insiders are speculating about the potential fallout, noting that undisclosed financial transactions, secret partnerships, and hidden relationships could lead to lawsuits, investigations, or other serious consequences. Every leaked document and anonymous testimony adds another layer of complexity to an already chaotic situation. And as more details emerge, it becomes increasingly clear that this betrayal is more extensive than anyone anticipated. Fans are left debating whether Jim could have seen the signs earlier, while commentators dissect Chrissy's motives, wondering if power, money, or control were the primary drivers behind her actions. The streets of Harlem and online communities alike are buzzing with speculation, outrage, and disbelief, and the narrative that once painted Jim and Chrissy as a flawless couple has now been shattered beyond repair. The combination of personal deceit, financial manipulation, and strategic alliances hidden in plain sight has created a scandal that feels almost cinematic, yet it is unfolding in real life with consequences that are still being measured. As the public digests these revelations, one thing is clear: trust was broken on every level, and Jim is left grappling with the enormity of the betrayal, the damage to his empire, and the unraveling of a life he believed was secure. This is a story of loyalty turned into treachery, love turned into strategy, and power turned into chaos. And the implications will continue to ripple across the hip-hop world and beyond as the full scope of Chrissy's actions comes into focus. As the revelations about Chrissy continue to surface, the depth of her manipulations becomes increasingly shocking, revealing a web of deceit that stretches far beyond what anyone imagined. Camron and his family's disclosures painted a picture of a calculated strategist who used charm and influence to operate in the shadows, while Jim remained unaware of the true scale of her actions. Sources claim that Chrissy not only managed secret investments, but also had discreet communications with individuals who were known rivals or critics of Jim, creating a network that strategically undermined his authority and credibility without him realizing it. Leaked documents and anonymous testimonies show transactions and agreements made in Jim's name that were designed to benefit Chrissy while putting him at financial and reputational risks. Public reactions have been swift and intense, with social media exploding as fans, influencers, and even other artists weighed in on the scandal, some expressing outrage on Jim's behalf, while others questioned how he could have been so blind for so long. Observers described lavish spending that seemed innocuous at first, but in reality was tied to hidden dealings that siphoned funds from Jim's legitimate business ventures into accounts and projects that only Chrissy controlled. There are claims of secret trips and meetings that involve people Jim never met or knew about, and insiders say that these activities were carefully orchestrated to maintain the illusion of a normal, stable relationship, while everything behind the scenes was carefully engineered to her advantage. Sources also revealed that for years, warning signs were present, but Jim's focus on his career and public image allowed Chrissy to continue her plans unchecked, demonstrating a level of patience and foresight that has left even seasoned industry insiders stunned. The scandal is now affecting not just Jim's personal life but also his professional relationships, with some business partners reportedly questioning whether they can trust him or if they, too, have been unknowingly caught up in Chrissy's schemes. Friends close to Jim say he has been left reeling, struggling to process the betrayal and understand how the person he relied on most could orchestrate such a comprehensive plan to manipulate him and his empire. Public opinion has become a mix of sympathy, shock, and cynicism, as people grapple with the scale of the deception and the boldness of Chrissy's actions. And while some fans express support for Jim, others are beginning to question whether the empire he built could survive this level of betrayal. Allegations include secret investments that contradict Jim's stated business priorities, and insiders say that some of these ventures have already caused significant financial strain, with the potential for lawsuits or government investigations looming if the hidden transactions are fully exposed. The narrative of a perfect couple has crumbled, replaced by a story of calculated deception where trust was weaponized and loyalty became a tool for manipulation. Observers describe a chilling level of foresight in Chrissy's actions, suggesting that every move she made was deliberate and part of a long-term strategy to secure control over key aspects of Jim's life and career, while remaining undetected. Friends and insiders report that Camron's family has been providing detailed accounts and evidence of financial irregularities, undisclosed communications, and personal betrayals, and these accounts are now circulating widely, adding fuel to the public outrage and intensifying scrutiny of both Chrissy and Jim. The public is increasingly fascinated by this story, dissecting every post, photo, and past statement for clues that might explain how such an elaborate scheme could have been carried out for so long without detection. The combination of financial misconduct, personal deception, and hidden alliances is creating a narrative that feels almost cinematic. And as more leaks continue to emerge, the implications for Jim's career, reputation, and personal life grow more severe. Even those who previously admired the couple are now forced to confront the reality that appearances can be deceiving, and that behind the glamour and public smiles, there was a level of planning and strategy that turned trust into vulnerability. Observers note that the scale of the betrayal suggests years of careful calculation, with every public gesture and private transaction serving a purpose that benefited Chrissy at Jim's expense. Meanwhile, insiders continue to provide new evidence and testimony, shedding light on the previously hidden aspects of the situation. And as the public digests these revelations, the sense of shock and disbelief only intensifies. Questions about accountability, motives, and the future of Jim's empire dominate conversations online and in the industry, with speculation about potential legal consequences, business ramifications, and the impact on his personal relationships continuing to mount. The fallout is no longer hypothetical, and those close to Jim say he is facing not only the emotional weight of betrayal but also the practical challenges of navigating the chaos that has been unleashed on his career and public image. Chrissy's actions are being examined in unprecedented detail, from secret financial maneuvers to hidden personal connections, and the growing body of evidence paints a picture of a carefully executed plan that leveraged trust, reputation, and access to power in ways that few could have predicted. As Camron's revelations continue to circulate, the public is left wondering how someone could orchestrate such a multi-layered scheme while maintaining the appearance of normalcy and loyalty, and experts suggest that the consequences for Jim could extend far beyond immediate financial or reputational damage, affecting long-term business relationships, public perception, and even potential legal challenges. The intensity of public scrutiny and the unfolding nature of the revelations are creating a situation where every move by Jim, Chrissy, or anyone connected to the scandal is being analyzed, dissected, and speculated upon, and the sheer audacity of the actions involved continues to captivate, shock, and divide audiences. As the scandal surrounding Chrissy and Jim continues to unravel, the full extent of the consequences is becoming impossible to ignore, with revelations piling up and the public watching every move as if it were a live drama. Legal experts and insiders suggest that the hidden financial schemes, secret partnerships, and undisclosed communications could trigger lawsuits, government investigations, and serious financial repercussions that Jim may have to face alone. Sources indicate that some of the secret investments Chrissy orchestrated were tied to high-risk ventures that Jim had no knowledge of, and now he is potentially liable for losses and mismanaged funds that could have far-reaching implications. Friends close to Jim report that he is spending long hours meeting with legal teams and financial advisors, trying to piece together the reality of what has been happening behind his back, while simultaneously grappling with the personal betrayal of someone he trusted completely. Public reaction continues to escalate, with social media commentary, news reports, and influencer speculation creating a storm of attention that is as overwhelming as it is relentless. Many fans express shock and disbelief, questioning how Jim could have been unaware of such deep manipulations, while others turn their attention to Chrissy, scrutinizing her motives, her actions, and the audacity of carrying out such a complex scheme. The combination of financial misconduct, personal betrayal, and public exposure has made it increasingly clear that Jim's empire and reputation are at risk, and even longtime allies are reportedly reevaluating their relationships and level of support as new details emerge. Insider accounts suggest that Chrissy's strategy involved more than just secret financial dealings, including carefully cultivated relationships with individuals who had previously opposed or sought to undermine Jim, which added another layer of risk to the situation and increased the potential for both personal and professional fallout. Legal analysts have speculated that if it is proven that Chrissy intentionally misled Jim and engaged in financial manipulation, there could be significant penalties, including fines, civil suits, or other forms of accountability that might jeopardize the stability of his business ventures. Meanwhile, social media continues to dissect every past interaction, post and photo for clues, turning the story into a full-blown cultural phenomenon that merges celebrity gossip with a cautionary tale about trust and deception. Industry insiders point out that the psychological impact of such a betrayal should not be underestimated, noting that Jim is now forced to navigate not only financial and legal challenges but also the emotional toll of realizing that someone so close to him had been manipulating him for years. Observers have highlighted the meticulousness of Chrissy's actions, suggesting that her ability to simultaneously maintain the appearance of loyalty while secretly orchestrating schemes demonstrates a level of strategy that few could anticipate or defend against. Reports indicate that Camron and his family are continuing to release evidence and provide testimony, keeping public attention focused on the scandal while simultaneously raising questions about the ethical responsibilities of those who were aware of the manipulation and chose to remain silent for so long. As more information surfaces, speculation about the long-term implications for Jim's career and personal life intensifies, with some industry commentators predicting that recovery will require rebuilding trust, reassessing partnerships, and carefully managing both legal and public relations strategies. The narrative that once painted Jim and Chrissy as the quintessential power couple has been dismantled, replaced by a story of calculated deception, manipulation, and betrayal that has left fans, peers, and industry professionals alike questioning how appearances can so completely mask reality. The story is not only about financial loss, but also about the erosion of trust, the destabilization of relationships, and the challenge of maintaining personal and professional integrity in the face of such intricate schemes. Jim's reputation, which has been cultivated over decades, now faces scrutiny from multiple angles, and insiders warn that the fallout could have ripple effects throughout the entertainment industry, influencing partnerships, sponsorships, and public perception for years to come. Friends and sources close to Jim note that the emotional impact is profound, describing feelings of shock, anger, and disbelief as he attempts to reconcile the woman he loved and trusted with the actions that are now coming to light. Public sentiment remains divided, with some expressing sympathy for Jim and condemnation for Chrissy, while others speculate that there may be additional layers to the story that have yet to be revealed, suggesting that the situation could become even more complex and damaging over time. Observers highlight that Chrissy's ability to operate behind the scenes, undetected for years, points to an extraordinary level of planning and foresight, reinforcing the notion that this is a scandal unlike any other in recent celebrity history. As the public digests the unfolding details, questions about accountability, responsibility, and the future trajectory of Jim's career dominate conversations across social media and traditional media outlets. The combination of legal risk, public backlash, and personal betrayal has created a perfect storm, leaving Jim in a position where he must navigate the fallout carefully while attempting to restore stability and control over his life and brand. Industry analysts emphasize that the financial implications alone could have lasting effects, from jeopardized partnerships to potential investigations that could span multiple areas of his business operations. Meanwhile, the emotional and psychological burden of such a betrayal continues to weigh heavily, underscoring the reality that the stakes extend far beyond material loss. The unfolding scandal serves as a stark reminder of how trust, loyalty, and reputation can be manipulated, and it highlights the importance of vigilance and awareness in both personal and professional relationships. As new leaks, recordings, and insider accounts continue to emerge, the story remains dynamic and evolving, keeping public attention riveted and speculation at a fever pitch. For Jim, the path forward is uncertain, with every decision carrying weighty consequences for his personal life, career, and public image. Friends and industry insiders stress that the next steps will be critical in determining whether he can recover, rebuild and reclaim authority over the empire that has been so thoroughly challenged. Meanwhile, Chrissy's role in the scandal continues to dominate discussions with questions about motive, intent, and future consequences, keeping the public engaged and the narrative unfolding in real time. The combination of public outrage, legal scrutiny, and personal reckoning has created a scenario that is as complex as it is captivating, leaving everyone watching closely to see how this extraordinary story of betrayal and deception will ultimately resolve and what it will mean for the lives and careers of those involved. Now that you've seen the shocking truth behind Jim Jones and Chrissy, the question is, what do you think will happen next? Can Jim rise from this betrayal and reclaim his empire, or has Chrissy's manipulation changed everything permanently? We want to hear your thoughts. Drop your opinions in the comments and tell us whose side you are on. Was Chrissy a mastermind, pulling the strings, or is there more to the story that hasn't been revealed yet? Do you think Jim could have seen this coming, or was he completely blindsided? Every comment sparks conversation and gives us a glimpse into how the public is reacting to this explosive scandal. Don't just sit back and watch the drama unfold, be part of it. Hit that like button if you are shocked by these revelations, and share this video with your friends so they can weigh in too. Make sure you subscribe and ring the notification bell because we're only getting started, and there are more explosive updates coming that you will not want to miss. Stay tuned as we continue to uncover the twists, the betrayals, and the behind-the-scenes chaos in one of hip-hop's most jaw-dropping scandals. Your voice matters, so join the conversation now.